the year, and it's done. What could be better for us? Want to welcome all of you here at the Park Office Center location, as well as all of our other 4 locations. And I have the honor of introducing one of our nearest and dearest, Don Hoffer. Don is our resident insurance expert, and he's going to be addressing changing benefits in a changing world, focusing on healthcare obviously today, but Don's also an expert in all of the arenas. So he can answer questions on life, dental, disability. Right, Don. Don is a 5-star award winner, Twin City Business, an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. He provides local representation at the best possible price, and he will work very hard for you, and I can attest to that. All of his companies rate in the top 2% in the industry. His quotes are free, and even if you don't do business with him, he's a really, really fun guy, and he'll still be your friend. That's what he says, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, many of you have probably heard Don say in many of our networking events that you can actually apply for and get insurance in the evening in your jammies. You can apply and be approved and have insurance that you can use the next morning. And I'm a walking testimonial.
There you go.
I got dental insurance and used it 2 days later, and everything has been hunky-dory. So I strongly encourage you to connect with Don, and let's all welcome him. Woo-hoo!
Thank you. But you can interrupt me at any time if you have any questions. I'll stick around. My presentation will only last probably what time it takes you to finish your food. A+ rating, Better Business Bureau, best rates in town. I was invited, this location, I was invited 6 years ago by Daryl, who is in the same business I am, 2 doors down. And the quoting system was one that he had recommended. So if I'm busy, 2 doors down, you can talk to this guy right here. Change. The one constant for the rest of your life is going to be change. And in this industry that we're in, the last couple of days, this is Saturday, Medica says, oh, the bus is full. The bus is full. We have no room at the end. And then this morning, Minsure draws early shoppers. Minsure still has 3 Blue Cross plans and health partners, and they have 23,000 people this year that have tried to enroll versus 7,000 at the same time last year. So with the rate increases that are taking place in that 5% of the population, 50%, 67%, Arizona, 118% rate increase. What we're looking at today may not be what we're looking at even 6 months from now. I just got an article this morning. The Minnesota Association of Health Underwriters and the National Association, Republicans plan to start repealing ACA in January. So the Obamacare that's in place that everyone's complaining about, we will have a president, a Senate, and a Congress, all from the same party. So I don't think there'll be a lot of fighting. That was one of Trump's promises, was that he would improve this situation and make it more palpable. And it sounds to me like that's what they're going to be doing. That networks are getting smaller, deductibles are going up, maximum out of pocket is going up. I saw this morning on TV about 5:30 in the morning that Fairview clinics and hospitals are in a scrap with Blue Cross right now. So it's changing. It's changing on a daily basis. And all we can do is try to keep up with it. Right now, what we have available through Minsure, Blue Cross has 3 plans and Health Partners still has plans. That the sheet that Office Centers was nice enough to print for me and make available to those other locations includes an opportunity to window shop. This red flyer here, you go to my website, you just punch in that. Hey, let's do that. Corey, could you, let's go into that, punch in the website. And Daryl's got the same one.
So give me a second here. I'm going to
Just
share
Don
it.
Hoffer Insurance.
All right. Share it with our other friends.
And that'll show you every plan that's available in the state of Minnesota. No medical questions. No social security number. No name. Oh, here he is, right here. And there's videos on here. There's videos on here. Just so you know, before we go any further, I had a situation about 4 years ago. customer service. I had a chance to travel all over the country, all over the world based on production, but now I'm focused on customer service. I had a woman who was working for Company A, and then she decided she could take a new assignment with Company B. She didn't get benefits for 2 months when she went to Company B. I said, why don't you take Cobra? That'll cover you and your husband and your 2 kids for the 2 months. She said, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to just risk it. So she did. And she was killed in a car accident. So here's this guy with 2 daughters, 2 preteen daughters. And I was able to, by working with her former employer, because it was in that 60-day stretch, was able to put that health insurance plan back in place. And they could carry that for 18 months. I was also able to put back in place a $25,000 group term life insurance policy, which won't pay for the kids' college, but it was ability to tie a little ribbon on this person's life. But it's the kind of thing we do. We're not 8 to 5, we're start to finish. Most of the time when I come in, you're already there. Hey, so there's videos, they talk about how wonderful I am, the top 1%, but let's hit this free online. Going to window shop here. And we're going to let's plug in my son, Andrew. His birth date is January the 19th, 86. Thanks, Corey. Male, non-smoker. His zip code, he's saying, was Park 55416. And then let's hit that. Okay. Rates are based on where you live and your age. Guys and gals, they're unisex rates, so they pay the same. And we're going to go January, and we're going to get a quote. Boom, there we are. This first plan here is through, you can scale down a little bit, Greg. This first plan here is a 6550 HSA bronze with health partners. And it is off the exchange. But if you'll notice, the same plan is available on the exchange. So if a person is curious about whether or not they can get a deal through the state, page 2, how many of them are you in the house? What's your income? Work the sliding scale. You'll be able to tell, and you can't quote me on this, these are estimations depending upon your particular situation. You can tell whether or not there's going to be a subsidy. In the situation with the state, if you are enrolling in a state plan, you have to do that yourself because of HIPAA and confidentiality. Agents aren't allowed. You can make us your agent afterwards, and we'll bird dog for you the whole year long, and it doesn't cost you anything, and then you can just put it away and not worry. Or if you're making too much money, you're looking at something off the exchange. You can tailor these two depending upon the carrier that you want to use. This was a lot nicer about 6 months ago before everybody pulled out. Preferred one said, oh, we can't do individual and family anymore. And Medica said the bus is full. And Blue Cross says we have 3 plans. They're all high deductible plans. That leaves us health partners and those 3 Blue Cross plans. But you're able to tailor on and off the exchange. And by doing that, you're able to zero in on what's going to work best for you and your family. And once you find the plan you're looking for, apply. There's no paper anymore. And that last gentleman I sat with said it's like ordering a red sweater off the internet. And like I said, internet sales are up 100%. All the carriers want you to do this electronically. And like Lisa
John,
said, yeah.
If he has discounts through Minsure, it'll automatically apply in there?
No, you've got to go directly to Minsure.
Okay.
You just punch in MNSURE. But what this does is it tells you what the savings. Can they go directly to Minsure on this? Oh, they can.
Yeah. It'll take you to the Minsure website, and then you have to put in your information and income, and then the rate's the same in or out of Minsure, but if your income is low, you get a subsidy off the same plan. Your income's not low, I wouldn't mess with it.
But how do they determine that income? I'm not going to know how much I'm going to make until the end of next year.
Based on last year.
That's right. Now, that's part of the problem. You have to estimate what it's going to be for next year. So if you say, I'm going to make 30,000 next year, you get a subsidy. You end up selling something and you make 100,000, you have to give back your subsidy.
Isn't there a way to do that without, because I'm just thinking to sign up on the exchange and then, you know, whatever I make and not get the subsidy and just have that adjusted on taxes, or is that not possible?
The insurance company knocks off the price.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Do I get paid on that then too?
Good question.
Off exchange, on exchange, so a little fuzzy to me what that means.
Okay, the on exchange is MNsure. It's the government exchange. Off the exchange
Got
means, hey, I'm just looking for the best deal and I know I'm not going to be able to get a subsidy because of my income. Okay. All right. Dental pro, so that's how easy it is. Carrie, you can bomb out of that if you want to go back to that front page.
Sure.
If you can. Good oral hygiene reduces the chances of heart attacks and strokes by 50%. Lisa said, yes, all you need to do is just give them the information, you hit the print button, and I've got a certificate to go to the dentist. I'm real big on dental programs. I actually have, there's my dentist right there. I actually have a toothbrush on my business card. So other than that, I had one other sheet I wanted to share with you. Changing times, life insurance. This last page, this is a company called American National. It's the most popular product that I'm making available. One Moody Plaza, Galveston, Texas. They have they rate in the top 2% in the industry, like all of my other carriers. But what they have is they have a rider attached to a term insurance policy. People say, I want term. I don't want any of those cash value products. They have a rider attached so that you can become your own beneficiary. If you have any of these concerns, whether it be chronic, fatal, heart attack, they talk about strokes, they talk about all different types of things, Parkinson's disease, AIDS, organ transplant. Some of these aren't terminal, but it's possible to tap into the benefit while you're alive, and you can spend it on whatever you want. Some people think, I don't want to burden my kids. I'll hire somebody to come in and take care of me, and you can draw from this. And it's something that hasn't been available in the past. What kinds of questions can we answer? That's it. That's it. Oh, and the fact that whatever we talked about today may be different tomorrow. You got to follow the radio, you got to follow TV, and you, especially as we approach January. I don't think the kinds of things we're shopping for right now are going to be available the way they are in June. It's changing, yeah.
Do you have any ideas, speculation on how it's going to change and what they?
I won't be paying for mammograms anymore, I can tell you that. I won't be paying for adolescent dental. I'll be paying for, the Christian nuns won't be paying for birth control. I know they're going to tailor this to the needs of the individual more, instead of that boilerplate, here's what you get, sign here type thing. Yeah, but it's a crystal ball. I couldn't tell you. I know that Minnesota's doing some things to at the state level with the legislature to try to move some of this along, because people are really unhappy here. I know that HSAs, health savings accounts, are more popular in Wisconsin and Minnesota than any other state in the country. The health savings account, where you go with a high deductible insurance plan, and then you attach a bucket to that with money in it, and you get a deduction at the end of the year like a traditional IRA, and you draw from that bucket when you incur expense. Some people that are well-to-do fill that bucket every year, and then it just moves to the next year. Some people who are on a budget will experience the expense, wait for the discounts and the credits, and then they'll put money in the account to take out to pay that bill, because they're going to use an untaxed payroll dollar. Anything that goes in that health savings account is also going to reduce your reportable taxable income. Yeah. I know. Hey, come on.
Suggestion, how about if we have our computer expert run another quote there on the broker exchange?
What do you want?
I want to do an age 50 person as an
good.
example.
Corey.
I'm 54.
Yeah,
Woman.
or 55.
No, or 56.
All right, there you go.
Here we go.
So,
Let's do a 1/1/1960 or something like that.
Female.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. I saw somewhere else, actually men are paying higher rates.
For life insurance,
Oh, no, for health insurance.
well,
Are we looking at life insurance now?
no.
Health insurance.
For health insurance, I saw.
They're,
minimum
in
payment.
Minnesota, they're unisex rates. Wisconsin, women used to pay more because we had nothing to do with it, but they were the ones that were giving birth.
No,
Is that right?
Let's try, check the
Is
first
there
page.
such a thing as a major medical plan anymore that you
Check
can
the box
use
and then
until
we'll
the
compare it a
changes
little bit.
are known, like 6 months from now?
Yeah,
Go down
that's
to
Is that a
65.
major medical?
That's what it is.
2200.
Yeah.
keep
It
going.
is, okay.
Oh,
That's
let's
the,
do a,
You know what, then, ask that question so everybody can get a look.
Yeah, what was
That was a good question.
That one.
Good question, so that everybody can hear it at the other locations.
So is there such a thing as a major medical plan until the changes take place? But anyway, you were saying.
Would you say that's a major medical plan, 6550?
Go back.
It's major in terms of what it does to your pocketbook.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point.
Right, it's just still really
But it's
high.
not because it's
Down
such a high
to more.
deductible, you're not.
You're
really
responsible
covered
for the first
The
6550, and once you hit that, then it's
Yep.
100% after
Then
that.
let's go way to the bottom to 1,000 deductible.
So now what do you guys, you're looking at
Keep
the
going.
difference between the
Lower
highest and
deductibles.
the highest?
Kind of highest,
Deductibles.
yep,
Okay.
up one,
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry,
Sorry.
they're closed.
Who do you like, Daryl?
I'm sorry, up one number,
One more.
no more.
920 and 11,000.
Let's get more.
I had a couple that were crying in the office. They were crying in the office. They took care because their rates were higher than the mortgage on their monthly mortgage on their home.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got a mortgage for under 500.
All right. So we
Okay.
figured out some plans. Would you mind talking a little bit about what's going on?
Oh, go ahead.
This-
Come on, Daryl. You know.
You can go.
Yeah, that's highest to lowest, so the least expensive plan for a 56-year-old male or female would be the 561 a month, 6,550 deductible, then 100% coverage. Covers a routine physical, that's it. Everything else goes.
That's it.
If you go to the next one, this one's a little bit more expensive. If you scroll down, this one's got 3 office visits for $50, and it's got prescriptions. And if you go to the one way on the right, is 1,000 deductible, but you're paying $848 a month.
The two of those, the second and the fourth one, don't have HSA.
That's right. Mhm. So that's kind of the range.
I didn't give you guys a lot to work with, did they?
No.
No,
And it all has to be approved by the insurance commissioner and the feds. Yeah. And the one with the co-pays, some people are thinking, I'm never gonna have to go to the doctor. I'll get an exam, and I just need my prescriptions filled once a year. And if I'm not feeling well, I could go to my clinic or urgent care, and again, it's just another co-pay.
now if you have a small business, rates are less, and it's open network, unlimited number of plans. So you have a business, you agree,
Yeah,
John?
yeah, I would tell you that if you have a business with at least 2 employees, that we can put a plan together, and that's a different pool of money. That's the other 95% of the people in the community. It's a different pool. Some of our small groups, the rates actually came down in the last year.
That's if you have two plus employees.
You need
Are
to-
there any like consortiums or co-ops or something for small business
You know, I
owners?
don't, I know in talking with people, there was a Christian-based medical where everybody buys in and there's a single rate and a family rate, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. No,
There's
there's
some
no,
restrictions there too.
Right.
As far as lifestyle,
I guess they can do that.
they can.
I guess they can do that, and they're exempt from Obamacare and all of that. The other thing that's happening is, it used to be with the carriers on this individual and family that there was always a national network, or in most cases there was a national network. They've eliminated that so that if you are traveling and you need to go to the doctor, you're going to go to the emergency room. Used to be able to, you could turn over your ID card, find out where the nearest United Healthcare clinic was, go there, and just a copay. Yes, that's another. Yeah.
Is there any advantage to applying, like I buy insurance for me and my family? is there any advantage to buying insurance individually, or are the rates the same across the board, it just doesn't matter?
Same.
I'm struggling, this is like, you can't believe what I paid.
And the
You
rates,
have-
You had such a great deal for me, and then, I mean. it's
You have a family deductible cap, so it'd be better as a family than.
Instead of going individually, because otherwise it's $66.50.
then depending upon the plan, we have the rates for youth 17 through 20, those rates are the same. But when you go from 21 to 24, those rates go up, and that's per individual. And when you hit 26, I mean, they just treat you like an employee. There's no, we used to have deals where any 2 or more, you paid the same price if you had 6 kids. But now with the changes that have taken place, we really have to know what their ages are in order to,
Do you think we will ever see a day when insurance companies will incent people who are healthy? So we see the car insurance companies doing it.
life insurance
There,
companies.
it used to be in the 80s, smokers, non-smokers, significantly different rates.
Well, these are significantly different rates. if you're a
And
smoker.
I just, to me, the whole foundation of where these prices come from is not anything on the screen, and it has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with an unhealthy society that we just don't reward people who are healthy. We don't incent people who are healthy.
Well, do they
And-
still offer that deduction for going to the health club 3 times a week?
Sure, I think
Like
you
a,
have to go
like a $20.
$20 a month.
$20 a month, you gotta go 12 times a month. And it's just about any facility that you want to go to. Yeah, we have employers now that are actually putting in exercise rooms on their facilities. They want people to take better care of themselves. There are wellness plans, there's quitting smoking plans with carriers. You have to seek them out.
What about?
Come on.
I don't care. I don't like that. I mean, I agree. We need to have something for the healthy lifestyle because I think a lot of we're all paying for everybody who's obese and smokes and all this other stuff. I mean, do you ever see that?
Yeah, I see it coming with
Is
the
that
president.
part of the you not paying for mammograms and things? And
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
mean, that-
tailor this to meet the needs of the individuals. Yeah, right now, the way it's structured, the guy that's in a wheelchair that's drinking adult beverages and smoking cigars all day is paying the same price as the long distance runner that's the same age. I think that in Washington, they just wanted to get something out. You have to prove it to find out what's in it.
Don,
Yeah.
what this lady said here is exactly right. It used to be male, female rates, smoker, non-smoker rates. We could deny people if they were obese and had heart conditions, but now everybody pays the same. The Affordable Care Act says it doesn't matter on January 1 if you're in a coma, having a heart attack and pregnant, it's the same rate as a 22-year-old jogger.
So insurance is to cover the unforeseen. What we're doing is we're moving from health insurance to just medical coverage.
it's a major medical coverage.
Well, yeah, that we're moving to major medical because, yeah, the deductibles are going up. Prices are
And
going
no
up.
everyday, no ongoing care kind of thing. It's all just major medical with those kinds of deductibles.
All plans will include an annual exam, and on an individual basis, I don't think any of the carriers cover eye exams anymore.
No.
As part of their annual. They
Right.
don't. They don't, unless you have a problem with your vision.
And this says pediatric dental, but do they have dental as part of the primary owner of the plan? I mean,
Extra.
as extra?
Yeah.
Because I had to get a separate dental policy that I pay like $35 a month for or something. But is that one Health Partners that you can get it as an add-on? I didn't see that available,
It's automatic with Health Partners for kids up to 19.
but not for the
Checkups.
primary policy holder?
No.
If you're an adult and you want dental with your health partners, they can buy through, but it's extra, of course.
Call Don if you need dental. Use the extra.
And I have it, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like but I mean, how much is it through Health Partners?
Be happy that's all you're paying.
Yeah,
I don't
that's-
think
that's
there's
a
a
good
plan out
rate.
there under 52.
Oh, really?
Be very happy if you get dental insurance.
In light of the increasing premiums, cost premiums out there, are you seeing any of your customers 2016 here who are saying, in light of the increase in 2017, are going to drop their coverage and pay the IRS penalty.
Right.
Take a risk.
Yeah, it's come up with young people.
Can you repeat his question, please?
Oh,
Can you repeat the question for the folks on the other end?
have we come in contact with, have we been solicited by people that are deciding with rates that high, I'm just gonna drop my insurance and pay the penalty? I think that's temporary because I think there are gonna be some things happening the first 100 days of the new presidency. I really feel like there are a lot that can be done. They've already shared that information with key individuals. I expect them to be implementing things that are gonna make us all happy. They'll make us smile. But yes, there are. And what's the penalty, Daryl? Do you know? Is it 1%, 2%?
$800.
Yeah.
Per year.
It keeps
Or-
going up every year too.
That's
Yeah,
all.
it started out at about 90
Yeah.
and now it's, But there are a lot of
I'm
young,
gonna drop my insurance then. Jeez, that's a 1.5 months premium.
messenger of bad tidings, huh?
Isn't there still a rule in place from Obamacare where if you decide not to have insurance, but then something goes wrong, that you can kind of jump onto a plan kind of quickly? I mean, that was part of the problem,
No,
wasn't it, for
no.
a while?
Next January.
It'll all be done, but that's kind of what's
Yeah, if you don't get in,
happening now.
you have until the, pass those around. Those are our deadlines. So November the 1st, 2 weeks ago, we had open enrollment, and you have until December the 15th in which to make a selection or make a change, like Judy did, to your current plan. And then that coverage will start January the 1st, which is that most people. You have until the 31st of January for February the 1st. But if you're without coverage for a month, there's probably going to be a penalty in that. Another question.
But
Hey,
it
you
would
take a
be-
chance, they'll drain your bank account if you go to that emergency room.
So your gut on the first 100 days, like you said, can you give us some dynamisms, what you think is gonna happen?
Well, I think there's gonna be a situation where we'll probably have competition across state lines. I think that we will see a lot of what was put in place is going to be reshaped to meet the needs of the individual, so that a single person isn't paying the same premiums as someone that has, dependents. I think that subsidies will still be here. I think that I can't tell you. I really can't tell you where we are going to be even a few months from now. Come on, Judy.
Isn't it possible for you to set up a group plan for our fine friends who are a part of office centers?
Of course we can do that. That'll be something we'll address. Yeah, if you're working somewhere, and you don't have a group health plan, if you're 2 to 50 employees, we probably can put something together, and it'll be a more comprehensive plan. Group plans, by the way, that group 2 to 50 will include a national network, whereas the individual plans that we look at here, if you're not feeling well and you have to go to the doctor and you're in another state, you're going to go right to the emergency room. And that usually has an out-of-network deductible of several $100s before you even get a chance to talk to someone. That's just where it is.
That would just tip the scales for business owners coming to office centers if we could have a group plan available for people who are part of the office centers, virtual office centers.
But you have to be an employee. of
Yeah, I
Office
think it'd have to be,
Centers.
I misunderstood. Yeah, I don't think we could put an association plan together, but it's something we can certainly look at.
So if you travel a lot, what are your options?
Make sure you're on a group plan or buy the most comprehensive plan that you can get.
You have to go to an emergency room and then you're covered.
But you're saying, but then you're out of network, and so if you.
No, then you're okay, but it needs to be a medical emergency that you need to be seen right away. Then you're covered, but if you just have a sore knee and you want to go to the doctor, no coverage.
So,
How about Daryl'isms in the next 100 days, in the first 100 days, I should say?
I think they'll take away the mandatory thing that you have to buy insurance, take away that penalty. It'd be open borders, more competition nationwide, but that won't happen for, it'll take them a year to get that in place, I would think. So, I mean, for right now, you just about gotta pay the pauper, but if you've got 2 or 3 employees that you give somebody a W-2 out to, set up a group plan for your business. If you don't, then the individual plan's your only choice.
Can you do that even if you're not contributing? I mean, can you set up a group plan and I mean, how much you have to contribute in order to?
That's a good question. That business has to cover 50% of the employees' premiums.
Correct.
And we can structure that if you use a cafeteria plan, section 125, if they have dependents, they're allowed to pay for them with the untaxed payroll dollar, pre-tax. Also their portion, their 50%. If we pay for that pre-tax, we're using money that would ordinarily go to the state and the feds and Social Security. That payroll dollar, I get to use the whole thing before I address payroll taxes. Employers also going to reduce their matching taxes in that scenario by about 9%, those matching taxes that they pay. Yeah, so if my bill for my child is $600, and if I'm in a 30% tax bracket, I've reduced my reportable taxable income, that 6 becomes $400, right? Because we're using money that would ordinarily be going somewhere else. I like questions.
Do you have like a worksheet or something that kind of shows how that savings works? Or is there something online that we can go look at?
Give me your business card, I'll get it to you. I'm happy to do that, sure. Sure. Yeah.
I know you're not a doctor, Don, but the fact that I had 6 pieces of pizza today, does that increase the possibility of using my health insurance in 2017?
You know, I don't think so, but because I know you and I know you love to bike and you're a serious biker, not a motorcycle. No, you're gonna burn it up yet today before the snow. Yeah.
I just wanted to know on the worksheet what FPL means. So and it gives a percentage and then
I was wondering that too.
I'm not sure. On the
Let's
the
call
red
it
is
one.
purple.
Federal
Done.
poverty line, maybe?
What is it? Done.
Is it federal poverty line?
That's probably it.
Sounds good to me.
Federal property line.
Yeah,
Or level?
property line. Yeah, it is.
Property line?
Property or
Poverty.
Poverty.
So if the employer doesn't cover 50% under the group plan, does that mean, so they can have one in place that the employees can take advantage of? And it just kind of removes some of the tax benefit? Or what exactly, who gets benefit from the 50% that they're paying? I guess I'm just trying to kind of figure that part out.
It's just treated as a business expense, just like postage and utilities.
Okay, but if they put in a plan and they don't cover anything, can they still have a group plan in place that their employees can at least take advantage of?
No, the employer has to subsidize that.
The insurance company won't let you do it. You have to tell the insurance company you'll pay 50% of the employee premium.
Otherwise they won't.
Otherwise, they won't do it, but all you need to do is reduce the employee's pay by $2 an hour and tell them you'll pay 50%.
Oh, okay. The employees, I would imagine they're not completely, I'm not excited about this, but at least they understand that.
Yeah. Tell them I'll pay for half of your insurance, but I'm gonna have to reduce your hourly wage a little bit. But they'll come out much better than they would on an individual plan.
Exactly.
And there's a lot more competition, obviously, in terms of
They're
carriers.
richer plans. You get
Yeah,
more.
you can buy Medica, Health Partners, Blue Cross, 20 different choices, open network.
And again, that's because that's a separate pool of money from what we're looking at here. Yeah. We used to have Insure. We used to have a plan where we knew people were going to be running major claims. But what they did was they took all of those people and they just rolled them into this. And that's been part of the problem. There's no medical underwriting anymore. It's just how much do you want? Which plan do you want? Sign here. Yeah.
What's happening to all the people, just out of curiosity, who are under the poverty line and still have to pay these outrageous rates and can't afford to pay them? What's happening? I would think that would be a large chunk of people kind of falling off of this.
medical assistance comes into place.
Thank you.
Oh, they have medical assistance.
Thank you, yeah.
That's right, yeah. And we're paying for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the phone yesterday a lot with Mincher, and they said that the Blue Cross Blue Shield that they have on there, it's not really Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's owned by them. But it's, I think, Blue plus
Blueprint.
Blue something, and not all doctors, I assume all my doctors, they don't all have that.
And it doesn't include the Mayo either. Yeah, the networks are getting smaller. 44,000 doctors left the industry last year. My doctor left the industry. I said, you can't retire. I did the numbers on the wall and I could see this guy was 75 and he looked 60. It was a picture of health. And I said, you can't retire. I'm not retiring yet. He says, I refuse to put my clients in for my insured, my patients on a computer. They're in that file cabinet over there and I'm not sharing it with anybody. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, they can tell which finger the insured broke. The government can tell which finger you broke. Anyway, that's part of this paperless, where we're going and what we're doing. But yeah, a lot of doctors just get tired of the intrusion.
Well, on the flip side of that though, because I had a doctor who it seemed like she was trying to get extra appointments out of me. Is
Oh, I
that
don't
a
know.
way for them to profit? I mean,
if there's a copay, I'm not really sure what that's all about.
how do they get paid? Yeah.
How
The
do
Blue
they-
Cross
How do
Fund
they
is
get paid?
Alignment Network.
So what? Yeah, it's a line,
Alignment.
right. But some of my doctors are, but one of them wasn't. And I called that office and she said, you'll have to call, I think the insurance company, and here's our tax ID number and they can tell you if we are a part of it. I mean, I'm not even quite sure who to call and ask, but I mean, it's not easy, but then it happened to me once before and all of a sudden you get this big bill and they say, oh, we're not, I thought I Blue Shield Blue Cross, but it was a different plan within it and they weren't a part of it. And they didn't tell me that when I checked in at the doctor.
I had people this morning that said, I need to make sure I have the Fairview clinics. Blue Cross is at odds. There's a tug of war going on between Blue Cross and Fairview as to whether or not they can work on an arrangement. So it's day to day. It is, it's unfair, but it is what it is.
On the small business group plan.
Yeah.
I have employees, but most of them wouldn't participate anyway because they have health insurance through their spouses or whatever.
Mhm.
So like, let's say I wanted to do that. Do you have to have two people participating in order for it to work, or can you have one who's a family?
We can have just one if the other individuals in the group have what's considered qualified coverage through a spouse.
Mhm.
Then we just waive them. So now I have 100% participation because I have one employee and everyone else has group coverage elsewhere.
So you can do that, like change from a individual plan to a business plan if you have really one participant.
As long as everyone else has coverage. If there are individuals that are on MA, medical assistance, it may be that we can't do that. It may be that we can't do that because they're being subsidized by the government and the government wants the employer to.
But if they're part-time employees.
Well, part-time employees don't count.
Yeah, right, so that would
And some employers have actually reduced the hours
just.
because they can't afford to pay their employees. They have to go out and get it on their own.
Anybody else? Do we have any from any of the other centers going?
I'll stick around for a minute. Here's your calendar year coming up. If you have questions later, you pass those around. Here's 2017. If you have any questions later, they always seem to pop up. Don't hesitate to call. Daryl's 2 doors down. He knows more than I do. And if we do business with you, that'd be great. If we don't, well, we'll still be your friend. We're part of the Office Centers group. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, we're usually doing more woo-hooing. Kind of a tough subject, but you did a heck of a job with it, Don.
Oh,
We
thank you.
appreciate it. We really do.
I appreciate all of you being here. And thanks for paying for the pizza.
Well, and like I said, this is our last power lunch of the year, you guys. Can you believe? Like, it's almost 2017. We are going to, so next month, we don't have any of our regular 5 free events, but Do we have a cool holiday celebration at 5 locations, 5 times? We're going to be jingling and mingling. And who's been to them? Who's been to our lunches? Yay. So we need a head count we want as many registrations as we can possibly get because we need a head count so we don't run out of lasagna. We have lasagna and salad and bread and desserts and sparkling water and wine. So it's a really fun celebration, and please don't miss it. We'd love to have you. Also, if any of you are interested in presenting at our Power Lunch, we would love to have you talk to one of us, Shannon or any of the center managers or the front desk. Would love if you have a hot topic that you could share with us. We would really appreciate it. So we're still woohooing around here, and we're wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and we're going to celebrate and lots of festivities next month just with the holiday luncheon. So come to one or all. And a big woohoo, everybody. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. Thank you. And Daryl,
Thank you.
I was going to say, thanks for the